All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Terra Sentia series after a pretty darn long hiatus. What was it, about a month?
A month and a week.
Yeah.
Longer than a month.
Too long. I agree.
Too long.
Month and a week. Although, part of my trip was going back to Michigan, and I got to play a little bit of D&D there. But actually, we played a lot less D&D than we usually do.
Cheating on us.
For those of you who are watching, I go back every year to Michigan and for like a annual Dungeons and Dragons high school reunion.
The guy in the Razor commercial was really hot. Sorry, I got distracted.
Oh god, yeah, I mean, like, obviously. And this year was our 16th annual.
That's crazy.
It's very crazy.
Congrats.
But it's a good crazy. It's the kind of crazy that I hear from everyone. They're like, holy crap, I wish I did something like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so glad that we, as like a group, kind of like arranged that a long time ago and just kept doing it.
Yeah.
We had 3 guys that couldn't make it this time around, but the good news is that like the one guy couldn't make it because his vacation is on like seniority based, which is I just totally am opposed to that kind of thing, because it's like, oh, so you're basically penalizing people for actually planning their life, as opposed to just giving people vacation time because they've been there longer. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. But the other two, Jeremy got a new job, and it's like better benefits, better job, better pay. He just had a newborn, like all
Jeremy,
that sort of like.
Good for you.
Yeah, nice work, Jeremy. Thank you. He basically made the right decision.
Killing it.
Because his boss basically said, like, you can't have the time off. Like, if you're starting right away, like, we need you here.
Yeah, I mean, that's
yeah. Time off in the first 6 months is usually not so much a thing.
And then Mike had to cancel very last minute because they sold their house in the Chicago area, and so right when that happened, they had to essentially like start to
get all that stuff done.
Oh yeah, basically get like buy the house that they're going to buy.
Yeah,
they didn't have that chosen.
And you were telling me about that, it was either like totally coming or absolutely not.
Yep, and it ended up being absolutely not, and that's a bummer. So it was just us 5. It was great. My mom got to see my mom.
Nice. My Twitch app.
Yeah. Oh, I have a fun story for all of you.
Ooh.
So we're up at my mom's house in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and so for those of you who are unfamiliar with Michigan geography, Michigan actually has an Upper Peninsula right above it, so above the Mitt. I kind of call it the last frontier of the United States. Like it's very
Don't freak out, Bill.
It's very sort of winter wonderland in the winter months, but in the summertime, it's just completely gorgeous. We at a certain point we grilled some hot dogs. We created a fire in one of those little like portable fire pits that you can buy or whatever, and then we just kept feeding the fire. And then at night we sat around the fire and just talked. We had looked up at a certain point and saw that the stars were just outrageous. Like you could see the Milky Way just striped.
Fuck you and your lack of light pollution.
Right?
Well, and that's the thing though, is that like we got to a point where like, well, we want to see this in a clearer fashion. Let's go out to the road, right? And that's just a little bit of a, it's like literally just walking a minute that way, and you're out on the road. And the road out, like at that point, like it's 11 o'clock at night, no one's on the road, and if a car's coming, you can hear it and see it from a mile away. Not a danger. What is a danger, however, is the fact that you're in the Upper Peninsula, and there are cougars, there are bears. Like, these are all real things that you have to just kind of watch out for, right? So we've got our light, and we're sort of like, we're shining it in the forest occasionally, just to kind of be safe. We're being aware. We're being smart about it. 15 minutes goes by. We're just really enjoying, like, we're seeing shooting stars or whatever. And then I hear, and in my head, I say, oh my God, did I just hear that? And the moment I said that in my head, Brian said, did anyone just hear that? And I said, oh yeah, I think I heard that. And we're like, nope, noping all the way up the driveway. And our friend Dave, who had gotten into a ladder accident, like almost 2 years ago, he's walking with a heavy limp still, right? Mm-hmm. So he is like struggling to keep up. He's like, you guys, like we're now full on running, after we hear this.
Gotta run faster than the guy.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. And that's exactly what Brian yelled out. He was like, we're just gonna run faster than you, Dave. And he's like, and no one was hurt, but it was just that really funny, sweet, and at the same time terrifying moment. It was all those things wrapped up into one.
Although, congrats on all of you guys succeeding in your perception check.
Actually, just two of us, because the other two did not.
That wasn't even.
That
was just your passive perception. You were the two highest passive perception.
I guess so.
That's what happened.
Yeah, you had a 14 and a 15. I suppose the other guys I don't know.
They have like a
9.
Yeah,
maybe a 9. Yeah. Oh my god.
I have some friends with a 9 passive perception.
God, I have some friends with an 8. Don't even get me started.
Oh. You might be watching this right now, but
and you're totally unaware that we're talking about
if you are, you know that your passive perception is a 3. Love you.
So anyway, we are back. It's maybe a little bittersweet as Shanna is no longer gaming with us for the sort of foreseeable future. Will is at his annual gentleman's retreat.
He will be back in due time.
In due time.
That is a double pun for everybody. I'm going to crack my drink for that one.
I know you're drinking, so...
He tries me to drink.
Probably doing other things.
I know he's doing that too.
Yeah. Anyway, so the annual gentleman's retreat is like his sort of like D&D reunion. Like they don't play D&D, but they, good friends,
smoke
getting
whiskey
back together. I know his
drink
brother's
cigars
involved in it as well.
Yeah.
From the stories I've heard, yes, exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Take some pages out of Time's book.
Yeah.
Have a baby and not notice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope not. Will, knocking on wood for you, buddy.
Wrap it before you tap it, buddy. Also, no white drugs.
What's that even mean?
My mom has 3 rules. No white drugs, wrap it before you tap it, and no dating someone with a redneck stepdad.
Okay, but what was the first one? No white drugs?
No white drugs. Like, meth is white, cocaine is white, heroin's white.
Meth comes in a variety of colors.
Yeah.
If you watch what you called, it's blue.
Yeah. Heroin's like grayish.
And sometimes MDMA or ecstasy can come in a white pill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that from experience.
One has told me
that I may or may
people
not
who are
have
friends with
it is
over the last weekend
alleged
at a certain festival that shall remain unnamed.
Whatever. My MDMA is uncut and still crystalline in a gel cap, so
boom.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Is anyone excited about anything in particular inside of their life that they want to share? Aside from being here and playing?
I am learning how to crochet boxes.
Oh, nice.
So,
what does that mean?
Struggle of my life.
Boxes with lids.
So do you just do it so tight, or with like a firm enough string that it stays shaped?
Yeah, you do it with a pretty firm string, and you make a lip. So I don't know. Somebody might get a rolling box.
That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
I never even thought about that was a thing.
It's a thing. I just found out last week.
Neato.
Oh yeah. So. By the way, I have books for you guys, and I totally forgot them. Don't be mad at me.
I'm not going to be mad at you only because
only very disappointed.
We meet every week.
Yeah,
and I see you oftentimes. I'm practically accidentally stalking you.
Quick tangent. Well, we're all stalking each other if that's your logic. Quick tangent though. Are we doing the sci-fi game next week?
Yeah. So for our viewers, so the next week, we're gonna switch up our sort of schedule. So we're gonna do Terra Sentia every other Thursday, and then the Thursday that we're not doing Terra Sentia, our wonderful friend Will, who is not here, he's invisible. He's a ghost. He's going to be running
unintentional, Rowan.
He's going to be running a science fiction role-playing game called The Trappist Transfer. and that is going to start next week. It's going to star a couple of other players in addition to our lovelies Connor and Ashleen, and it's going to be really great. I will not be in this game, although I will be lurking in the shadows, because I'm just kind of, I don't know, I want to experience the whole shadow lurking.
And
I'm going to do your job before your job was your
This
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
The job
I've had
you
3
have.
jobs at this one podcast. It's been something.
But you still have one of your jobs, technically.
Yeah, it's like half of
voice
my
is
job.
correct.
It's my job, but downsized to this.
Yeah. Totally.
Compartmentalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming up, and also now this is going to be less of a timetable for us, but we're going to have a short run, like every Saturday for about 2 months. We're going to record a Legend of the Five Rings role playing game,
I'm
which
really excited to watch that.
has to do with samurai drama, how duty and desire both sort of clash and conflict, and it's going to take place within the Scorpion City, known as the City of Lies, Ryoko Owari, and it has gonna
How would you name your
it's going to
city
deal heavily within the opium trade within Ryoko Owari.
It's like naming your city like Doomville or Pittsburgh.
We're really into drugs
okay,
like Critical Misfits.
it's interesting that you say that. So there's sort of a double meaning of Ryoko Owari. It's normally known as City of Stories. But because it is run by the Scorpion, most people refer to it as the City of Lies. Because
Lies are stories.
lies
Yeah.
are stories.
Lies
So
are
they're-
stories you tell when you didn't do your homework.
So the word is sort of interchangeable between the two. So yeah, no one would ever actually blatantly, name your city the City of Lies.
Yeah. Or Mount Doom.
Yeah. But it has multiple names for the city. So yeah, that's coming up. I'm pretty excited about that. My friend Tom was just here earlier, creating his crab
Sup, Tom?
sushi character. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Woo, go Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, now we can do space-themed dice back, too.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some space themed tapestries to sort of on the walls.
Ooh.
We still need another nerd D&D adventure related one for this fall behind
We
our
do,
friend
yeah,
Connor.
we do. I still think that this looks okay, but
Totally, it looks great. I wasn't trying to hate. I just
yeah,
also wasn't trying to rhyme. It's not a crime.
it's not a crime. Yeah,
It was sublime.
Get out
black
of here.
coconut and lime.
Shake it all up, people. All right. Yes. What? Where were we in the story?
Where were we in the story? Are we ready to begin?
I don't know. Rowan said there was something about treats or cool new goodies.
Oh, I think
Oh shit!
Tell us about the cool new goodies.
Rowan is
I'm the cool new
absolutely
goodie.
correct. So let's. So for those of you who are maybe thinking about becoming a patron or already are, you can expect these in the mail pretty soon. They are the Critical Misfits and the Terra Sentia coasters. Thanks, Rowan.
That's what they are.
So we have those, and we also have the Terra Sentia stickers and the Critical Misfit stickers.
Sticker.
mine are stuck to my card. Otherwise, I'd show you.
Yeah, well,
Let's just grab
I
the
should
bring
have
this
saved
camera.
it for my
I know
thing.
I don't have any down here because
I stuck
am
one
a
to my
floor
guitar
planner,
case,
essentially.
and the other one's gonna go on the side of my amp when I get it back from the shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're cool because we all already used ours.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, mine are.
They look like the coasters, the same decals. They're really freaking dope. And you can
Or
stick them
his
to
beautiful
things.
shirt.
they are die cut, though, which makes them even more fun.
They actually got pretty great.
And yeah, so we're excited about that. The mugs for our $10 tier or higher are in the works. So those are a little bit more of a painstaking process, so that's going to take a little bit of time. Otherwise, those are the goodies. Anything else we missed, Rowan? Prodding me from afar. Don't forget the coasters.
They are pretty cool.
Yeah, Rowan,
And it means I
Rowan
can
does not
have-
sound like that even a little bit, so it's just fun
Oh,
to
it's so true.
pretend.
Oh, nice.
Are you stupid burgering me?
Yeah.
All right.
We were, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just talking about it.
So when we last left off, I basically killed Shanna's character. But that's not necessarily true.
killed the
Maybe.
spiritual avatar of
polymorph?
Shanna's character.
I thought Shanna was polymorphed.
No, Shanna was polymorphed.
I am polymorph.
Shanna was like into a weird, little
Weird.
kotai thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like spiritually sent there.
She was, Farron, he was with me when he died, though.
Yeah.
So I saw that happen. So I know Farron died.
You know that. Ferg
I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
Ferg does not know that because Ferg is a bore right now, and Ferg just doesn't feel like that.
And y'all are in different, temple-y sections.
Yeah.
And
I'm in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
How are we going to get back together?
You all...
I don't even know what time's doing. I forgot.
I don't think time knows what time is doing.
He's in the cave, right?
Yeah, she's in the cave of the 14th, which, again, slightly confusing about...
Because there's only 13 heads.
Indeed.
And only 13 tribes.
She was playing chess with that particular warrior. Won.
And got double blessed.
Got double blessed, although it's arguable that those blessings don't necessarily serve time all that much. Mm-hmm. They were in essence warrior blessings.
Yeah, because I forgot about the other cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think to back up even further, the reason why y'all were pushing to go to the Grove of the Ancients, especially considering that it's outside of the Kashar Forest, which makes it very difficult, if not impossible, to get to as non-orcs. You all found ways to get there. You had Malg help you out. There was another sort of like retired druid that sort of like acted as a monk.
Now is a drunk monk.
I mean, he wasn't necessarily drunk as much as he was just old.
You sure he wasn't
You can be both.
Orchidolisters?
Yeah.
If you want to accuse him of
We're not going to go down that road.
the
Keth's
bottle.
too young. We
Yeah.
don't accuse our elders of the bottle.
How old are you again?
and then
Otherwise, we get to bottle to the
and then
head.
Faye
They
transferred to you, right?
polymorphs, right?
Yep. And then I believe didn't Time take over Junebug, his familiar?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so now
As
he's
a hawk or something.
as a raven.
Yeah.
Hawk.
Was it a hawk?
I think
Okay.
a hawk.
I'm going to open this door because it's a little hot.
Yeah, it is.
Ravens are a Ferg thing. Hawks are a time thing.
Or not.
And Joy prefers sparrows.
What's that?
Sparrows? What?
Sparrows. Also blue jays.
Keth likes finches.
That seems kind of dangerous.
Why?
Because blue jays eat sparrows.
Well, I mean, not together. He just like he likes them just as birds.
Separately.
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes to put them in a small space together and see what happens.
Okay. No, that was like 100 years ago. Okay.
Experience joy.
He has changed a lot since then.
So yeah,
Oh
time,
no, that's back when his name was Greg.
time got
God damn it, Greg.
Time got the boons of combat prowess.
Cool. Good for
So,
time.
Keth,
It's about time.
you got
Doesn't
I got
even
a
count.
level 2 Eldritch Resistance, according to my character sheet, Bill.
yes, you did.
I got
Because I basically
Jack.
made a drunk monk cry. Actually, that guy was a drunk monk.
You didn't you
Yes,
shame him?
that's true.
I
Yeah,
shamed him
you
into
shamed him
blessing
so
me.
Yeah.
I was like, you fucking failed your people, bitch. Don't even come at me sideways.
Oh,
And then
it's true.
he came back with something, and you were like, you're just making more excuses.
Yeah, I was like, that's all, like, literally, that's what you're known for in history is making excuses, and here you are making excuses about that.
You're called Tom the Excuser. What was it?
He literally
what
was
his
called
name again?
something like that.
No,
I wrote it down.
It was Gromp of the Mycorot tribe.
Oh, okay.
That was close.
But didn't he have, like,
really.
a nickname that was,
Not even
like,
a little bit.
nicknamey?
No. No, he had no nickname.
By the way, our last
That
day that
means
we
you
played
can
was
give
the
him
4th
one.
of July.
Yes.
Jesus.
It was America Day.
According to my notes, I write the date.
I remember that because
we played a half session.
I was staying right across from Grant Park, and there were so many teenagers being chased around by cops in Grant Park.
Yeah, there were.
Cops still in their cars, just driving around.
So
Teenagers just shot fireworks at them.
your blessing, Keth,
Yes.
is that if you spend a inspiration point, then you become basically resistant to magical, compulsions and whatnot. So you have an advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
But I have to spend an inspiration point
You
for it?
do have to spend an inspiration point for it. And I have in my mind how long that's going to last, but I am also pretty flexible as to, like, I'm open to your sort of poking and prodding as to how long that lasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you say the elder's name was again?
Gromf of the Mykorot tribe. Known for offering delicious beverages for the whole of the Red Sun tribe. But outside of his passion, he often made rash decisions only to blame his actions on others.
Yay, blame.
And
Blame is lame. Don't play that game.
Let me see. Looking for...
Fired. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Nailed it. Just gonna destroy this table on accident.
You wound up
hanging out with Death Herald Ramalk of the Hollow Crest.
Yes, Ramalk as opposed to Ramulg.
Yeah.
Little
With a C, Q, or K?
What if they were married?
K.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
She was not.
And yes,
see H,
this particular chief was obsessed with death and all things pertaining to it. His riddle that you all solved was basically the Death Meadow, aka a coffin. Mm-hmm. And the ability you answered this alone, correct?
No, actually,
no. I mean, like Ferg.
Yes.
Ferg as a character answered it alone.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then did you? And there was
once per day I can cast Blight, and then if I spend an inspiration point, I can do something else that
I have yet to reveal.
Well, you texted me, but I forgot what it was.
Okay.
Also, have yet to reveal.
We'll just get into that right now.
Just think of it as
I
something
think it's going to be.
that
I think
Ferg
it's
doesn't
going to
know
be pretty
either.
exciting for anyone watching. So if you spend an inspiration point, and I can literally sense the excitement from you right now because really should be excited.
Sorry, I know I'm excited.
Oh, I don't care if you yawn. Yawn is not an indicative of excitement or non-excitement. It's just a lack of air. Okay, so if you spend an inspiration point, and this is generally speaking going to be just one encounter that you get this,
It wasn't.
your sword gains the ability to steal lives, to actually suck their souls out from them. So your weapon
That's fucked
becomes
up.
a +2 bonus to attack and damage
The stone
during
pencil
this
now?
process. What's that?
Oh, the stone pencil? Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, well, really any weapon that... So any weapon that Ferg uses while this happens gains this property. So it's flexible. The sword has... Let's see, that doesn't matter. If you score a critical hit against a creature that has fewer than 100 hit points, it must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be slain instantly.
Ooh.
As the sword, or in this case, you, basically tear its life force from its body.
Insta-kill.
Constructs and undead are immune to this.
Yeah.
You sort of instinctively are aware of that.
Also Republicans.
And
It's because they're undead.
Just keep using
And constructs.
yeah, and
the
that's it.
vitality of immigrants to keep themselves alive.
So, and then of course the blight.
Dictating needs more hearts.
Yeah.
You can base that DC off of your Constitution if that comes into question.
DC con mod.
And
I'm not going to remember what that set of words means.
Joy, you
Failed.
You did. You
I
failed.
biffed it hard.
You failed. Yeah. I did rewatch the episode, and you were slightly bragging that you think that your answer would be better than the answer that wasn't revealed, which I actually found really entertaining.
And I looked it up later, and I was totally right. My answer is way better.
No way. No
What
way.
is the actual answer?
Well, I
can't tell you,
reveal
'cause you guys might
because
still-
you may.
Yeah.
You may.
Yeah.
Someone else may go to that.
Good thing I didn't Google that one either.
I did, because I'm like, well, I lost my shot, and then he's bragging about it being so good. And I'm like, I was way better.
I disagree. I think that the answer that it gives is fantastic because it's completely accurate. So
I don't know.
wait, what was the answer you gave? I forget.
A meal when you're starving.
Yeah, that was a good answer. It was a good answer.
Because it's what smells better than it tastes.
What tastes better than it smells?
Better than it smells.
Mm-hmm.
It's arguable that for some people it could taste and smell equally delicious.
I should have said anything if you don't have a sense of smell.
Oh my God. So,
Looking at you, John Reisinger.
we're starting here. Remember that, Keth, you just saw.
Farron die.
Yeah, so specifically, you
How you
saw
doing about that?
the spirit of
Right.
Khan Kalal, of the Red Sun, and I'm not. I'd like you to roll a history check. You can even roll it at advantage, considering that you're from, the Orcish tribes. But do you know anything about this particular work? That's what I want to know.
He was a punisher.
I mean, clearly.
A Punisher like the Punisher, or a Punisher as a title within the tribe?
I mean,
month
Keth
in
just
2004.
made that up. Or Ashleen just made that up.
Yeah. 15. 15 straight up. Yeah.
You have a -1 to your history?
Was that
So-
16?
Yeah.
Oh, 16 straight up.
Yeah. So, Khan
So there.
Kalal it was almost considered like the shogun in feudal Japan. When the shit hit the fan, they needed that particular warrior to sort of take the lead while in wartime. So the chief still had various amounts of power within their stations, but Khan Kalal at that time was the most had probably the most influence inside of a period of war.
Okay.
And so while not one of the 13 chiefs, he was certainly recognized within the Grove of the Ancients because he was one of the members who was slain.
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, 14 orcs were slain on that night.
Oh. History becomes clearer.
And I got to
Like a
apologize
squeegee
to
on
our
a shower.
viewers. I am on day 4 of quitting smoking, so I'm kind of hacking up and coughing up a lot of stuff. And I very much smoked a lot during this last weekend. So, but I promised myself that I like my voice more than I like cigarettes, and so I'm
Hell
going
yeah.
to be from here on out not smoking.
Yay.
And it's giving you that like sexy growl, that like very back of the throat. Yeah.
I don't know if that was a sexy growl.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
You like that?
Hey, if you're into it, you're into it.
Yeah, and if you're not, no big deal.
It wouldn't surprise me if Bill's into it.
Look, everyone is into Batman, okay?
What do you mean you're not into me?
I'm more
Thanks,
of a Green
Kamal.
Arrow fan.
What do you mean you like rich, snobby,
Well, I mean,
Batman-y kind of?
No.
What do you mean? No, I just keep
not
doing the Batman thing.
Batman.
So anyway, who wants to start with their you just saw, the tiny little winged snake that was Farron be torn in half.
Okay.
Or actually, no, wasn't torn in half.
in half.
Run
cut
along
in
a
half,
blade.
Actually, just
Yeah.
ran across the blade of Khan Kalal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thanks, Bill.
and before that moment, Khan Kalal just said, "I don't have time. I don't have time to
Take a
wait
drink
for an answer." And then just
I don't think that was a time button.
Yeah. And then he just killed Farron and left.
grabbed the easiest target and left. And did warn you that depending on how long you stick around and how many riddles you attempt to solve, he may ask for another sacrifice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I didn't hear that.
You don't know that.
There.
I'm the only one that knows that right now.
I know nothing.
So
I remember about half of your guys' names.
If I go first, can I go first?
Well, what would make the most sense? Does that make the most sense?
I feel like after that happened, Keth would want to find everyone else. Like, not necessarily that he's going to on his first try, but like leaving the current cave he's in is like, fuck, Farron just died. Like, I need to know where all my other people are at. Like, if he was still in like a weird reverie at all that like pulled him into this cave, like that snapped him the fuck out of it. Like, where is everybody else? You know? Oh,
speaking of just beginning the session, everyone starts with 1 inspiration if you don't have it already.
Ooh. I am inspired.
Because I remembered.
That's because Bill's our bard.
Modeling tomorrow. It's going to be great.
And what I would like from you, is let's see. What am I deciding on how you're attempting to find everyone?
I think we were doing survival checks last time.
We were rolling.
We were rolling to find the path was the main thing.
My survival's pretty good.
Which is why I'm pretty sure it was a survival check. But don't quote me on that because I haven't watched that episode yet.
Spoilers.
I'm watching them in order and I'm not caught up.
So what I think we were doing is I think we were doing either survival or nature.
Okay.
But here's what I will say. So you got that sort of eldritch resistance.
Mm-hmm.
There is something you sort of get the sense like now that your senses in that regard are just a little bit more enhanced to the point where you can sort of, and it's like that in a combination with like your listening skills that you get the impression that this area invokes and sort of like oppresses a sort of lost wandering quality to whomever is in it.
So, like, regardless, it's like a minier version of what's going on in the Kashar to Outsiders, kind of.
A little bit, yeah. It's got its own little microcosm.
It's like an intensified little microclimate of it.
Yeah. So why I bring that up is because you feel like if you used that ability, if you spent your inspiration and you used that ability, that you could roll either that survival or that knowledge nature check at advantage to attempt to find your comrades. And I'm just leaving that up to you, whether that's useful or, that's totally up to you. But I wanted to put that in your lap.
I think I'm going to save it for now.
Okay.
I'd rather use it on one of the rolls with the
Cool.
guys.
So roll either one of those abilities as you sort of leave the... let's see, where did you leave?
7, Bill.
7 plus.
No, it's 4 plus
10?
3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice try, thank you.
Oof.
So you leave, and you are fully convinced that you are sort of like, you can kind of hear the occasional like loud inhale snorting of the boar that's distant that you know is Ferg, and you also and that's kind of like where, and you're sort of looking for visual cues for joy and sorrow,
dice.
because you, I remember correctly, are just like ethereal, ghostly.
I can hear all them. They just can't hear me at all.
Correct. Right. So you're just sort of floating through the ether, as it were.
Oh yeah.
And you come
now.
across a cave in which you're sort of like convinced that you hear the snorting in, and you go into said cave.
And in this cave.
And in this cave
is joy within sorrow.
Sitting on the ground, like head in his hand, Coors Light.
Yeah. You find neither of them in this cave.
Okay. Wartime?
What's that?
Wartime? Time's still floating around there somewhere, right?
Correct.
You said neither, like I don't know. I'm just making sure that time didn't also disappear.
Well, I mean,
that's a good point.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But what I would like you to do is to make a charisma saving throw.
We will all find out in due time.
I don't charisma.
Charisma better then.
Wait, are you guys still blessed by me?
Can I use this for the charisma saving throw?
What is that?
The Eldritch resistance thing?
Yeah, I mean, like you could spend your inspiration and actually roll at advantage for sure.
Should have
That was cocked.
regular
That was cocked.
inspiration.
Cool. So just keep in mind that this is going to keep going. You will still have this advantage.
Like I'm just gonna keep having this advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it's like just activated now.
While you're in the grove, unless I say otherwise.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. See, yeah, you should have done it.
Yeah. I should have. Okay, yeah, I got a 7 - 1, so I got a 6.
Okay. So you
man.
I told you I don't charisma well.
you kind of have a thought
Do I?
centered around finding your friends, but that thought is somehow drowned out by the sort of feeling that you get while walking into this cave.
Mm-hmm. I feel it.
And
That thought loses its UGH.
what's that?
Nothing.
So you walk into this cave, and
Is there like one of those overgrown like lumps in the front of the cave?
yeah, in the front of the cave, but you find yourself sort of like walking past that
I was just
because
curious.
you're just attracted to the sort of like whispering, the wispy breeze that kind of like blows in and around you, and you hear this: alive as you, but without breath, as cold in my life as in my death, never athirst, though I always drink, dressed in a mail, but never clink. What am
So
I?
bad at riddles.
What am I, dear brother?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Alive as you, but without breath. As cold in my life as in my death. Never athirst, though I always drink. Dressed in a mail, but never a clink. So, what is your intelligence? I see 11, so it's +0 essentially.
Yeah.
So you get to have one person answer this riddle, but and you can choose that person. It doesn't have to be you, Ashleen.
Okay.
Whereas like Shanna, unfortunately, she had intelligence of 8, and she was forced to answer it on her lonesome. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
didn't Shanna answer her?
she answered it incorrectly.
Oh.
Yeah, because Shanna got to
Figure
figure
out
it out with
We
you.
figured out someone else's riddle together.
Figure out your riddle together, right?
It wasn't mine because I couldn't.
Y'all figured out my riddle.
Your riddle.
Yeah,
okay.
somebody picked us to figure out their riddle.
I did because I'm bad at
Yeah.
riddles.
Okay.
And hey, remember. So you have the riddle now.
Mm-hmm.
So remember to use your environment.
Yeah, totally.
You have a lot of skills that you can draw off of to like draw more information out of me.
I'm gonna go pull the stuff off the statue. I want to see what the guy looks like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's always given us a hint on like the riddle.
Yeah.
Looks suspiciously like me.
So I take out my sword and I start chopping.
Okay, so you take out your sword and start chopping. And you see
I feel like that's always given us a hint on like the riddle.
Hello, me from 20 seconds ago.
Shit. Okay, so you start chopping and like pulling off the vines, and you reveal a very sort of portly chieftain who is sort of dressed in a finery that is like the ornamentation has everything to do with wingless dragons. And I'd like you to make a history check as you're looking at this very...
That's a 13.
That is
straight up.
They're straight up. All right. So you know that this chieftain is known as Well-Fed Gronk.
Well-fed girl.
Yes. The chief of the River Dragon tribe. So the chief was primarily known for his hunting skills. particularly his patience and his ability to plan things out. He certainly did not sort of like run down the deer only to sort of like kill it like that. It was more like
That's how I.
it was more like
He brought it home. He lured it into his house and it just sort of died.
Made a
He
dinner.
fed it and then like
pretty much.
snapped its neck while it
Yeah.
was happy to get the best tasting meat.
Sat down to watch some Friends.
I made it weird.
But at his house.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
He's like, come with me, dear friend.
Sit by my fire.
It was said. Well, would you get a 13 on your history check?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, like you do know that his greatest love was hunting, for sure. Other than that, a lot of other details are sort of lost on you. Like you've read more about him in the past, but it's not quite coming to you right now.
Okay. What about like the walls? Do I like vine cover anything? Like if I just start cutting vines down and stuff?
Yeah. Make a perception check.
I don't perceive well.
What exactly do you do here?
I
really
push
hard.
people over and punch them in the face.
I told you.
That's going to be a 12 plus 1.
I have people skills. Can't you understand that?
So 13, not a straight 13.
A 13. So,
By 13.
Once again, I think a lot of the things that you uncover, all the carvings and sort of thing, a couple of like a diorama that was sort of like like overgrown, has everything to do with hunting. Hunting was his thing, for sure.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that Keth started his life training to be a warrior, and it wasn't until he was like, almost an adult that he decided to be a monk, so he's not the smartest.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know his history that well.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. History's a hard topic for people.
Yeah.
You're good at math, right?
No.
So,
No.
will you
You're good at
be
punching people in the face, right?
will you be answering this riddle yourself, or are you going to farm it out to somebody else?
I'm going to let Fisher answer it, because I honestly don't know this one.
Okay.
I don't think I
Give me
like...
2 seconds.
Okay.
I'll give you some subtle hits like I was giving Connor.
Okay. Just wanted to open that door, make sure the dryer's turned off. So, Fisher, alive as you, but without breath, as cold in my life as in my death, never athirst, though I always drink, dressed in a mail, but never a clink. What am I?
You're a fish.
You are, and so when you say that, when Keth says
Yeah.
fish,
No, Keth is a whole
the
thing too.
the spiritual form of Grolk manifests, and he's sort of resting his hands on his very well-fed belly, and he looks you in the eye and he says, "I would rather be doing nothing more than fishing. But I unfortunately feel that because I love what I love, because I wanted peace, I failed my people. I failed all 13 tribes. How do I reconcile that?"
Hopefully it brings you peace to know that though it didn't happen for you to share it with us, our people have found peace. In the Kashar, it has chosen to protect us. And though there is turmoil now, we are handling it, and our people have, what's left of them have thrived, and we've been safe.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me of their story right now, if you don't mind.
Oh, see, what do you mean? Like by their story, like the orc story, like what we've done?
Yeah,
How we live our lives right now kind of
Right,
thing?
right.
So,
And so yeah, please.
yeah,
please.
totally. So I start. Well, first of all, do I know what tribe he was the leader of?
The River Dragon tribe,
The River Dragon tribe. Okay,
which unfortunately did not make
I
it.
did not make it. So, first I'm going to speak of the Ironbacks, and I'm going to speak of the great, like, the beautiful works that they've created, and like the things that they've been able to like study and achieve, and like the way that we like rotate throughout the Kashar, keeping all of our villages like up and keeping all of our like Mycolog gardens like going, and like making sure that our people are fed and that we're like sustainably sourcing everything. I speak of the protection the Blackfang give us all, and of the spiritual guidance the Moonjaw has given us over the years. And I speak of the wandering orcs that are left of the tribes that are broken, and how we meet for gathers, and like how we like find peace with the Myco gnomes, and like how we trade with the outside world through the Ironbacks, but like the forest protects us from the humans that wish to do us harm, and we've kind of just been giving them a big fuck you ever since everything went down.
He chuckles at that.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to make a performance check.
Okay. Can this be considered charisma based? Like, do I get an advantage on this for my boon thing?
Well, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have anything to do with charisma as much
Okay.
as it has to do with the
Like being
resisting
charmed.
eldritch.
Resisting,
yeah.
yeah.
So unfortunately,
That's
not.
a 5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I feel like that was moving.
Yeah.
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 You
So
want to be a bard.
so I will
why he
say
loves
that it was moving for me.
Yeah.
Like listening to you speak.
But he just sunk and was like, oh, the dragon people are gone.
More so because Keth left uncomfortable and unfortunate gaps in his story that left him sort of like room to sort of like ruminate on his failures still. So unfortunately you don't get the level 2 boon, but you do get the level 1 boon.
Okay. I already have a level
And
2 boon. So.
That is
You only got level 2 in every cave.
Send boons.
I don't think you can get more than 1, though. I don't think.
what's that?
Can you get more than 1 level 2 and level 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can?
Mm-hmm.
We need all the blessings we get.
Okay. Shit, my bad, y'all.
I'm not
I
gonna
tried.
go there.
Level 1.
So Keth feels like actually the spirit of a very sort of quickly moving fish sort of like infuse in his soul as Grolg sort of walks into your body, and just sort of like his spirit sort of infuses with you. And so what I want to ask you is, does Keth can reach out for 2 things, but only one can he catch. Is it speed or stealth?
Speed.
Yeah. And so you sort of reach out and grab a hold of a spirit of a very, very fast moving fish.
Okay.
This fish is insanely fast.
Barracuda.
Your walking speed increases by 30 feet.
By 30 feet?
30 feet.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm completely serious.
Do you know what you just gave me, Bill? You just, like, monks are already...
Can't you already move 40 or something?
Yes, I can.
It just means that you can get separated by the party quicker.
Or I can go do
fantastic.
shit and circle back.
Yeah.
And disengage.
In addition, and I think that...
I can. What's my movement speed? 20?
That's amazing. Amazing.
You are now almost 4 times faster than me.
In addition, you can use a bonus action to take the dash or disengage action.
Okay.
Once you do so, however, you can't do that again until you finish a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Fast, and you have Eldritch protection.
Yeah.
Plus whatever's the other.
I'm at 25.
I can do Step of Wind 3 times too. So that's like 4 disengages.
I'm sorry. You're
In a short
3
rest.
times faster than me.
Right.
That was the coolest thing. That was the best cave to stumble into. So glad I didn't find you guys.
Before Gronk
Fuck us.
sort of dissipates, he says to you, you will need all of the help you can get before you face the darkness that exists within our beloved capital.
Darkness, my old friend.
Keth sits cross-legged and like bows his head and says, I like thank you for your blessing, Kashan, which is like what I guess we called male chiefs.
Okay. Perfect. And dissipates. Moving on to
Keth's real.
I'll go.
Because I need to make a note.
So,
Not one I can write down.
what is Ferg up to currently?
Finding truffles.
Yeah, I mean, Ferg was in the cave and got the blessing from Ramalk, so would really like to find my friends. So let's go wandering in this little mazy maze of cavies.
Go ahead and roll either nature or survival. But let's see. Got to think about this. Yeah, nature or survival. Never mind. Okay.
Nature. 15. Because my nature is good.
Hell yeah.
So 15.
15.
See here. Let's see. Time, Joy, or Keth. So you wander as sort of Keth has sort of left. You wander the pathway and you run into each other.
Sweet.
Remind me, are you? Oh yeah, you're just you. So yeah,
Yeah.
you have Keth, and then Keth, you see this gigantic boar heading your way.
I pull a truffle out of my pouch
Of course you do.
and I give it to Ferg.
It pays to be prepared.
Ferg totally shoulder checks you. We're happy.
Yeah, I'm really stoked too. And then I get out a rope and I show it to you, and I'm like, can I, like miming, like, can I tie it to you? Like, I guess I got to ask you, can I tie it to you? Well, tie it to me too. I'm not gonna walk you like a dog, so we don't lose each other. I'm like having this one-sided conversation with the boar that's like,
And just for fun,
Ferg is
Joy, go ahead and roll. Are you also searching for others?
Yes.
So go ahead and roll a either a nature check or a survival check.
All right. 14.
So you do not find anybody as you're wandering through, and I wanted to roll that now just in case. And time what is time's nature check?
Or survival.
Nature is +5.
Ooh.
+5.
Yeah.
Oh, time finds someone.
Time finds me.
Well, we'll see.
maybe.
Odds you, evens those two. Evens. So actually, time runs into.
Man, I'm
you.
fucked.
Yes.
I'm just like, guys,
So time
guys.
flies up and lands on Ferg's back. Ferg is still like,
No,
not.
you're not.
Ferg is like in their head, screaming, "Not fucking Sparky! You're not gonna lose me!"
Whatever. So Keth doesn't tie you to him.
Right.
But then I guess like I say like, can you sniff out Joy?
Maybe.
Oh, fuck, what's Joy smell like?
I mean, a dwarf.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say like, I don't know, Old Spice, but
Ew.
Dwarf Spice.
Dwarf spice.
Dwarf spice.
Ethereal dwarf spice.
Dwarf
The
Spice
Old
is the
Spice?
sixth Spice Girl.
I mean, I guess my sense of smell would be better now.
I got an 18 survival check. I don't know what that does
For what?
for moving forward. Like as a group, can we do that together?
Well, I would say that at this point, like it sounded like you were all taking sort of precautions to like stay together.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that whatever precautions you took, that's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Now that you're aware that this place has that ability, it's like you all, you all are careful. You all stick together. When you kind of go off in like La La Land and wander, I would say that the bird that is time kind of wraps its little sort of foot inside of the boar fur to just sort of like the moment it wants to fly away, it can't, and then that's what snaps, time as June back in reality.
And Fergus's like, what's this fucking tugging?
Right.
Since you know that we need more blessings, because Fish Guy told you,
Yeah.
do you lead us to another cave?
I have a name.
Yeah. I'm basically gonna tell them what happened, like what happened to Farron, what happened with the guy, like basically say like we should get more blessings if we can, but we like be warned it could come at a cost, like hopeful. And like I even preface this with like I don't know how magic works, but I hope that Farron is just like back in his body somewhere.
You hear a little snort of sadness.
Yeah.
Much like a crow, like just keeps cawing when it's sort of upset or there's like danger around. That's what the raven's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It just
the
keeps, hawk. Thank you. It just keeps. Thank you. It just keeps like just cawing and cawing and cawing, almost annoyingly so.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
And I say, regardless, we need to find Joy. So while we look for him, we should try and get more blessings if we can. So I'm going to try to take us to the closest cave, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a blessing yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a blessing yet.
Mm-mm.
Time has a blessing, though, yeah?
I can...
Yes, time can...
and I can steal.
Time can be a little bit better in a fight.
Yay for time.
Yeah, Time's got a lot of like battle-heavy magic on them now.
Mm-hmm.
On her now.
So you head into a cave, all three of you, and
can I roll for loneliness?
You don't have to roll.
I got a 2.
Yeah,
You're definitely
I don't know if that's good or bad.
So you head into this cave, and immediately the breeze kind of hits you, and you hear me coughing, but you also hear, I move very slowly at an imperceptible rate. Although I take my time, I am never late. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes. What am I?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. I move very slowly at an imperceptible rate. Although I take my time, I am never late. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in any lover's eyes. So the question is, who will be answering this question? And if you don't want to answer this question, that's totally fair. But you must roll, a charisma saving throw. Choose to.
Can you repeat the last 2 lines?
Yeah. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes. What am I? And so whoever's answering this, that's who I'm going to base the sort of like intelligence sort of question on.
I'll answer it.
Okay. So your intelligence is what, 16? No.
14.
14? So you can choose 3 people, and there are 3 people with you. So that's basically, that's unfortunate because Will's actually not here.
God damn it, Will.
But you have time working that shit out. You have you, and you have Keth.
I thought the intelligence was you can get 3 players to do it.
Oh, that's totally true. So why don't you wrap Fisher into it?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, not trying to force myself in there, but
no, you
No,
absolutely
please
should.
force Fisher in there.
Ugh.
Fisher, force yourself.
And it got weird.
I mean, it started out weird, so.
That's how things happen when I'm in the room. Start out weird, get weirder.
Yeah.
So,
Can you go one more time?
sure. I move very slowly at an imperceptible rate. Although I take my time, I am never late. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes. What am I?
Jeez.
One more time.
I move very slowly at an imperceptible rate. Although I take my time, I am never late. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes.
You guys have ideas?
I mean, feel free to.
I have one. I just don't want to put it out there first.
Well, you're part of the
Yeah,
circle.
I
You
mean-
totally should.
I don't
What
know.
do you think?
I mean, the first thing that I thought after hearing it was the moon,
That's what I thought too. But that,
but I don't know the schedule of the moon on Terra Sentia. We have moons, right?
there's,
How many do we have?
yeah, 3.
I was going in a completely different direction than you
Where
guys.
were you going?
Oh yeah,
The
no,
moon
please
doesn't make
do.
sense for the middle of it.
I was thinking more like contentment, and then I was like, no, or like respect, but like it's just I don't know. Like it's the last line's what's throwing me off, not the middle part.
Hmm.
I don't know.
The love of the moon.
For some reason, the last line is what's making me feel like it's a feeling, not like a tangible thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know though. I might have just thrown you guys completely off. So like, because I was not even thinking the moon.
I can see, like, Time and Ferg the Boar, Time the Hawk, Ferg the Boar, and Keth just sitting there, sort of like having this sort of like confusing base conversation in this sort of like overgrown cave.
And then there's
Kev-
somewhere
Kev
there's
goes, wait
joy.
a second,
Just
let's
like,
look for clues.
Yeah.
And goes and breaks open the like statue and starts ripping stuff up and basically goes like, show me a spot if you guys want me to cut vines off and I'll do it. And like just starts like uncovering whatever they want me to.
Okay.
Ferg starts helping rip down vines.
Oh, I forgot you're like actually large. I was thinking
Yeah.
like Time's like a tiny bird.
Hawks are strong.
So you begin to
For vines?
no.
tear off the vines, like remove them off of what you now know is sort of like this. Like every one of these sort of cave entrances has a statue that's just like completely covered with vines, and as you tear them off, you see a very, very beautiful orc chieftain, and in a sort of like very regal and sort of like, I mean, clearly it's a pose that was like that seems like it was a pose. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like a candid shot. It was like he's posing in a way that denotes and sort of draws attention to his
It
beauty.
accentuates his beauty.
It accentuates his beauty.
You don't
with
walk
his
in on him like
very,
that.
very like finely trimmed beard and a waxed mustache, along with
Orcs can have beards.
like a flowing sort of robes, and the hair that goes along with it is like unbelievably gorgeous. And yeah, a lot like Fisher.
Oh. Pop, pop.
And yeah, that's what you see. A thin rapier at his side.
Inigo Montoya.
One more time.
The
riddle.
The riddle? Yeah. I move very slowly at an imperceptible rate. Although I take my time, I am never late. I accompany life and survive past demise. I am viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes. Why don't you make a knowledge history check?
Uh, 15.
16.
What'd you get?
15.
16.
Okay. So actually, both of you, and this is like in conversation as you're sort of like talking.
Scratchings on the ground.
Well, the boar can telepathically communicate.
Oh shit, you
Since
can?
when? I didn't know that.
Was that not clear?
No,
I thought you could just telepathically communicate with the
Oh,
orc.
that's true. That is actually
The
true.
orc
I apologize.
spirits.
I rescind
Yeah.
that offer. I apologize.
Okay. I was like, what?
And I was like, I specifically remember you telling me I couldn't talk to any of the people I was with. I was like, how am I supposed to do this, Bill?
I know. So this is
You say something and then like
Yeah. You have like a little stick in your mouth and you're like putting like little symbols on the ground.
okay, grunt twice for no.
Sorry.
So this orc is this orc chieftain is known as Orlak the Alluring. He was the chief of the Sparkle Motion tribe.
Yes.
My little pony.
A chief whose perception was incredibly positive amongst his peers, with the exception of the alternative view that was the sort of minority view that his comeliness and charismatic approach was a smokescreen to his absolute uselessness.
Big mood.
Did you say sparkle motion?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Question is, what kind of commitment do you have to Sparkle Motion, Connor?
I mean, considering the amount of glitter that I've washed off my body, quite a bit.
So you don't have a lack of commitment to Sparkle Motion?
I don't have a lack of
Okay.
commitment.
So basically, he was seen as shallow.
No, not as much shallow, just as much as he used his sort of prettiness, his allure, his charisma as a smokescreen, because what was really there underneath to some was just his complete uselessness.
Are there any? What's on the walls inside this cave?
There are everything is well, it's interesting. It's very ironback. There's a lot of like beautiful, like there's a lot of beauty in this cave if you uncover it. Dancing orcs in flowy robes with long, luscious, flowing hair, sort of spinning around. Lots of smiles.
So a lot of the riddles have been related to like personal shortcomings with the orcs. So like I'm wondering.
Not always, though.
Not always, but
the hunter.
His was, but so was the other one that I answered.
His was not. His was not related to a shortcoming.
That's true.
So,
I mean, because he was saying that he believed that he was too like passive and that he liked to fish too much. So
totally. But the riddle was fish. Mm-hmm. The riddle was not about his sort of like passive indecision.
That's true.
So I'm just making a point that like it's that based on that, it's not always. Mm-hmm. It doesn't always have to do with their shortcomings.
I don't know. This one's hard.
All right.
I'm good.
What do you think, Connor?
Read me the last two stanzas again.
I accompany life and survive past demise. I'm viewed with esteem in many lovers' eyes.
Ooh, this is fucking delicious. This is delicious.
Please give us money.
I have not had tap out for a really long time.
I think my
Tapped
dad
out a
really
while
likes
ago.
that. Oh,
But
A long time ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
Now I'm thinking like love or desire.
desire. That could work.
I mean, I'm not trying to play with context
Move
clues.
slowly,
But
imperceptible. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
desire does not move slowly.
Takes its time. It's never late. Accompanies life and survives past demise. Viewed with esteem in lover's eyes.
I mean, Bill was leaning forward and saying commitment an awful lot earlier, but I don't know if that was just coincidence.
So if you would like to roll an insight check, I would allow that. You can either roll singularly or one of you can roll at advantage.
What are we making?
Insight.
Oh, you go for it. Well, I mean, I have decent. I have, I don't know, +1 insight. What do you got? You just do it. Roll at advantage. I got you.
Okay. Mine's also +1.
I just believe in your rolls.
You're funny. 5.
I broke your rolls. Sorry.
That gets you more indecision, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pretty, but everyone thinks he's useless.
I don't know. Desire makes sense. Commitment kind of makes sense. Respect makes sense. This one's hard because, like, when Bill tells
moon
us, we'll
kinda
be like,
makes
"Oh,
sense.
that's totally the answer." Unless
Except
we've
he
already
won't
said
tell
it
us.
and he's just sitting over there like, "Fuck y'all." You said that was a no like 10 minutes ago. Anyway,
I know. Well, and then
well, you're answering it though. Ultimately, like,
Poker face engaged.
Can't read my.
I think
Take it away,
you've gotten
Beyonce.
like most of the juices that me and Fisher got for this one.
Yeah.
If it comes to romance, I have no idea. If it comes to dumb puns.
Gaga, ooh la la la.
Or-
I love puns. Don't call them dumb because they're the best.
No, my puns are dumb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Other puns are gold. Or not.
That's fair. Full eye contact.
I really want to write on your arm, but I'm not going to because I think this will hurt. Tat me up.
For it.
I'm going to go with my gut and say the moon.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's what I
And his spirit sort of manifests for a second and gives one of those like, oh no you don't, and then like just sort of like flips his hair as he sort of turns around and his like sort of flowy robes follow him and then disappears.
No, it's not
Why
that.
didn't you?
I don't just popped into my head.
Fisher, roll a
I ruined it.
either a nature or a survival check. And as a matter of fact, I want to say, Fisher, that I'm going to say that you roll at advantage because you're ethereal, and that just kind of causes you to kind of like go through things.
Well, it's either an 8 or a 16, so I'll go with an 8.
What, you want to roll at advantage?
You're rolling at advantage.
I did. I rolled twice.
No, like,
That what
you get the
that's
better
what-
one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So why would you go for the lower one?
Are you looking for us or are you looking for just a cave?
I'm
I'm
looking for
assuming
you
you're
guys.
still looking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
So were you being sarcastic when you were choosing the lower number, or was that just a misunderstanding?
I wanted to go with the 16, not the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
great.
okay.
You said the opposite before. So
Oh.
Yeah, you said I'll go with the 8, and we were all like, what?
Oh,
Why-
it's because I was
why?
thinking. It's because in my brain I wasn't thinking about what I was saying. I was like, 16 and 8, those are related. And and then my brain came back and was like, what did I just do?
What are we talking about?
okay, so as you all are wandering out of this cave, you
It's half. And I'm like, what are the
essentially like
chances?
Joy's spirit just goes right through the boar, right through Ferg, and then sees them and stops.
I'll be like, hey,
Has anyone got an ethereal tether?
oh, time.
Does Ferg feel it?
time. Can you let these guys? I don't know when you're hearing this, but can you tell these guys I'm here? Hello,
And
guys.
It's time.
so the bird just kind of sort of does like circles around the spirit that is.
Like, oh, you're still a bird.
Oh,
Damn.
I look at you and I acknowledge your presence. But I don't say anything. 'cause
And
you
then
can't speak to me.
I step a foot to the right, so you're actually looking at me.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Ferg is a little confused, but it's like, well, time sees something.
Yeah. Keth says, I know that we keep losing each other, but please try to stick with us if you can. We're going to try to find more orc blessings. And Farron kind of died. We'll talk about it later. I can't see you to see if you're reacting to this. I'm not trying to be cavalier. I just want to get out of this grove.
You can see Joy.
Oh, I can?
You just
okay.
can't hear Joy.
Oh, okay.
Or no, wait. Or I'm sorry. The other way around.
you can. They couldn't hear me before. I could only talk to time because I could talk to time in the future.
I didn't think we could see or hear.
Yeah. The reason I could talk to time is because I was like, I can't communicate with them. So later on, I'm going to tell time what I said and when I said it.
Interesting. Okay. So
Time Lord breaks the game.
you know what? When players come up with creative shit like that,
Hell yeah. No, that's good.
so you so this is interesting because you find yourself now like in their same sort of space.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing to anchor yourself off of.
Mm-hmm.
Except for time sort of like constantly reminding you.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up essentially wandering to the next cave. And by the way, y'all can leave anytime you want. I just want to put that out there.
Leave the grove.
Do you have a blessing?
I mean, I can bless you guys.
You need a blessing.
No. They mean the Grove of the Ancients.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
no.
but Farron got a blessing before he died, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So theoretically, he will be blessed. You have a blessing on you, at least one.
Yeah.
Time has a blessing, but not a great one.
Time has two not great ones.
Right.
Yeah. Two. By
I have two as well.
Two by the same like warrior.
Mine are probably different warriors.
Also, what Evs wants to know if those shirts are available at a place or if they are not yet.
I mean, no, they are not.
Will made it.
Made one shirt, and this is the only one. And I'm sure that we'll be able to make them in the future. But yeah, this is it. And
I know how to make one.
And I'm simultaneously super joyous about it and incredibly sorry that I can't offer you one.
Joy within sorrow.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, it really is.
I reached
It really
drink for
is.
that one.
Oh, by the way,
You literally experienced
hi,
it.
whatevs. Good to
Whatever
to
is
see
up.
you.
I see you.
So and y'all will be able to meet Evie next week because they are playing in our sci-fi campaign, and that's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what you all come up with in terms of because I think next week you're going to engage in. Me and Will talked about this yesterday. You're going to engage in a little bit of like controlled microscope.
Yeah.
Like a real sort of like zoomed in microscope. And the way we talked about it is sort of like if microscope's considered GM-less, this one is the GM version of microscope, where Will definitely has like he's going to create the bookends and like the ultimate sort of like umbrella sort of effect of the campaign, and then allow y'all to sort of populate periods and events and scenes inside of there, and go off of that. So it sounds like it's gonna be really fun. I actually might want to be in the same in the room with everyone just to kind of like I don't know. I'll be off camera, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And then Mark's gonna join us as well. So that's an interesting question. Are you continuing to go to another cave?
Do we stay or do we go?
I feel like we've committed to Joy being in our party at this point, and like somehow we would communicate it to each other that Joy still needs to get blessed if we're gonna take him with us. And I think we've kind of agreed that we need him with us because we know this is some dwarf related shit, and like though Time has the dwarven belt, like it might be good to have like an actual dwarf who knows what the fuck like stuff is in a citadel.
Who knows about the dwarven history?
Yeah.
Right.
So basically I'm like, nod once for yes, twice for no. Like, are we going forward? Yes or no? Like, are we going to keep getting blessings?
Yeah, no. The bar is like, yeah, let's do this.
All right. So
And
next cave.
flourish ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hawk is consistently saying yes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go then.
Time's a little bit of a
Yes,
little
man.
reckless like that.
Yes. Hawk.
So
One shirt to roll them all.
One shirt to roll them all.
To bind them.
Okay, so you walk into this cave.
I actually strut into the cave.
You strut into the cave, like in a very, I'm sure, like exaggerated, weird way, because no one can see you. So
Oh, yeah.
who's going to judge you?
Oh, yeah.
I've
I've gone a little bit senile in my time alone.
Wow, that was fast.
No, I've been alone for decades.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk into this cave, and the wind blows, and it sort of like blows almost, directly into all of your minds. And it says this: a house based on a foundation like the skies. A house one has covered with a veil like a secret box. A house set on a base like a dark mantle. One enters it blind and leaves it seeing. What is this house? So I'm going to repeat all that, but before I do, I want to say that when I say dark mantle, I am referring to the Dungeons and Dragons monster. It's sort of like a flying squid with
the two crazy long tentacles.
Yeah.
Oh, so little. Okay.
Yeah. And if you want me to look up a picture of the dark mantle, I will be more than happy to do that.
Do
you know what a dark mantle looks like?
I do now.
I think I
know
do.
what a squid's mantle
Yeah.
looks like.
Here,
So.
let's, just for fun, and I'll show the viewers too, because
They are
it's a thing.
schmeckshy beasts,
Do you wanna-
to quote Sean Connery.
Sexy beast.
So speaking of sexy beasts,
The dog snip is Indy.
I just saw this meme, and it was a little kitten that had too many eyes and tentacles, and it was like, when you make a mistake, summon your Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a dark mantle.
That thing has too many eyes.
It only
You
has.
know what? No judging.
It has 6, 8, maybe.
I see what you mean.
I just peed myself. Okay.
Double puns all night.
So
I mean, we need somebody to keep up, so.
I know. I got to do them for me and Will.
I'm going to read it again. A house
Slack
based
over
on a foundation like the skies. A house one has covered with a veil like a secret box. A house set on a base like a dark mantle. One enters it blind and then leaves it seeing. What is this house? So I will give you a hint based on no rolls whatsoever. I've wrapped a little orcish lore into this. Just a little bit. It's almost imperceptible, but it's there.
Our Lord and Savior.
Like a secret veil.
A house one has covered with a veil like a secret box.
Veil like a secret box. I'll show you a secret box.
I'm looking forward to it. A house set on a base like a dark mantle.
God, I can't. Day.
One enters it
like
blind,
the skies, and on a base like a dark mantle.
leaves it seeing. What is this house? Whoever's watching, feel free to yell out suggestions.
Yeah, please tell us in the chat.
Because that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evie.
Yeah, God.
People who can Google without Bill seeing them.
No,
I'm just
Evie in
kidding.
the chat was like, I think I know what this one is, and I'm like, can you just say?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
feel free.
I'm not Googling. I'm just
Subscribe
opening
once for
my
yes
fan.
and twice for no.
I trust you. A house based on a foundation like the skies. A house one has covered with a veil like a secret box. A house set on a base like a dark mantle. One enters it blind and leaves it seeing.
So-
what is this house?
Is it skies IES or Y apostrophe S?
SKIES.
Okay. That is an important distinction.
I mean, completely.
Because I'm like, well, the
question.
skies they just sit on mountains, and mountains they just sit on cratons, as I learned that they're called.
What's this on a foundation like this guy's, though? Foundation of air. Huge covered veil like a secret box.
Oh, it's the missing city.
So, like, you don't realize you're stumbling into it, and then once you're in it, you like that's what seeing is like the gaining the knowledge.
Yeah.
Also remember that the cave and the statue remain vine covered.
Yeah, let's go look
Can I
at
peek through them without having to tear it open?
I tear him open.
It's even just super hard to see because then you're viewing it from there. So
Yeah, we just rip them down.
you can. It's just not effective.
It's just like, this is dumb.
Tear that shit up.
It's like trying to read a book like this. Like,
This is a horrible idea.
why did I think this was smart?
Yeah, I gotta stick to clarity.
Look, he's had a life, all right.
Yeah.
Ripping down the vines.
What do I see?
You see.
What do we all see?
Wait, for the statue or for the walls?
The statue first.
Okay.
And then I'll do the walls.
So you see a statue of an orc that has his eyes. This chieftain has his eyes sort of like rolled up in his head, looking up, sort of to the heavens, and with his arms sort of prostrated out, welcoming some kind of, I don't know,
Rapture.
something, maybe a vision of a sort. And I welcome history checks.
I'll make one of those. I'm smart, right? Wait, history is... Okay, yeah.
Freaking
16.
clipboard blocked.
13.
I got it.
Clipboard block.
Yeah, it was literally on 18 and it hit the clipboard and went 5. It's like, fuck you.
Rip.
You really did get clipboard
Yeah.
blocked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I got a 5.
14 for me.
What's that?
14 and 16.
Okay, so so interestingly enough,
Trick
the
shot.
uncommunicative boar knows exactly who this figure is. Yeah, looks familiar. Your bits and pieces of lore here and that, but basically, as the boar, you're sort of like drawing off of a lot of stuff that you read just recently within Blackfang, and this is Zalk the All-Knowing. Zalk became the chief of the Ground Cover tribe due to his prophetic proficiency. Divinations were his thing. He was the wise orc seer that ultimately pushed the chiefs to sacrifice everything in the name of honor, based off of a vision.
Sacrifice or sacrifice?
Say again?
I'm trying to figure out how to sacrifice.
Oh,
RIFICE.
SACRIFICE.
Sacrifice.
What is orc heaven?
Sacrifice.
There is no heaven to the orcs.
IKEA.
We give ourselves back to the mycelium and get to become part of the network.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
Do we actually have consciousness in the network? No. But do we
not
help
as far
the
as you
network
know, yeah.
thrive and continue to fuel magic into the world? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing that you just brought that up.
I was answering a question in the chat.
Well, I'm just going to
I
give it
just-
to you because you said it out loud. So that's wait. So wait. Who wrote that?
Whatevs.
Okay. And what did they write?
What is orc heaven? So I answered that is orc heaven.
Okay. So there's a place that orcs go inside of their communities to actually commune with the mycelium, and it's like a very, very specific place with a very specific ritual. And I would like Keth to make an intelligence check. Remember what that is.
Do I have to make a check? Wouldn't I just know?
Great question. I'm going to actually say you have to make a check just because it's fun. Mm-hmm. You're under a certain amount of stress.
Can I do it on at least with advantage?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just a straight up intelligence?
Yes, straight up intelligence.
Straight 16.
Okay, then I'm gonna straight up give it to you. So this is a riddle that was, but the answer was a church.
Oh, I was actually thinking that.
But to the orcs, it's their vision yurt, in which I described many, many, many sessions ago when you went into the sort of outpost, and it was like an abandoned sort of, that there was this vision yurt, and there's this other place, and this and that. That's also where I described the Death Meadow, which was one of the answers. And so
totally missed that entire set.
You were there.
I know.
You weren't feeling good that week, though, I don't think.
I mean, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. This is why intelligence checks are great.
Yeah.
So, Keth, you think of this, and you are almost positive this is correct.
Okay. If I say it out loud, am I going to get the blessing? Is there like a way for Keth to like tell joy within sorrow?
It's a great question. So how do you go? How would Keth go about saying that?
Okay, so Keth basically like gets your attention, grabs a stick, and writes "vision yurt" on the in the dirt on the ground, like, and then like indicates for you to say it out loud.
Vision yurt.
And suddenly, this very, very esteemed and very sort of no hair, completely bald, wearing sort of like a metal, sort of not metal. Sorry, I
was getting a real Stargate vibe for a second.
No. It's not metal. What I was thinking is polished. So it's like a leather coif. You know what a coif is? It's like sort of like a leather helmet, but it's very, very polished.
Very shiny.
It almost makes
so cool.
His head seem like celestial in nature because it's just picking up all these little star motes. And with like flowing robes down, like waist down, but like a sleeveless cutoff waist up. With just and just like tribal tattoos all the way down his arms, and holding something that he seems to be sort of fiddling with. It could be even like a handful of bones, small little animal bones, and he says, "You are wiser than you look, but maybe that's just my prejudice. I've always disliked your kind." And then he says, "But tell me this, young dwarf. Why would the Mycelian lie to me? Urged me on. They told me what the correct choice was. Why did they lie?"
I ask myself that every night. They've lied to me too. I've spent half my life lying to and being lied to by the Mycelian and by those who say that they're part of it. And I came here looking for the same answer that you're asking me right now.
Have you found it?
I can't say I have. But I can't say I'm not close. And I think you're close too. I think you know the answer. And you just need to find it. Find it within yourself to be okay with the answer.
Do you mean that it would be okay to not know? How's that possible? How is that in alignment with who we are as a people?
I used to think that knowing was everything. And
Isn't it?
that's what I found. I don't think it is anymore.
Now you know better.
I think not knowing something can be just as powerful as knowing it. What is the point if you know everything? If every question is answered, then what is the point? Your curiosity is what drives you. Your curiosity and your creativity is what drove your people. It's what drives all people. It's what drives the mycelium.
Resonates.
And when you find your answer, it will only raise 2 more questions.
Which is?
That's not for me to tell you. I would if I could. I do promise this.
How do you know there are 2?
2 questions?
Yes.
Everything has 2 questions.
That's...
I answered you. You had 2 questions for me.
Now you're just confusing him. And he's just like, you can tell he's running around in circles mentally. And he says...
He's experiencing joy and sorrow.
I would like to learn from you further. And just immediately bonds with you. Just spirit to spirit.
You vibed real well.
Yeah, I'm not even I was actually looking for and now you're gonna make this roll, but dude, you actually quite moved me, Fisher. Thank you for that. And yeah, which so you gain.
What was his name again?
What's that?
What was his name again?
His name was Zalk the All-Knowing.
Z or X?
ZALK.
I had a U in there.
Ooh, that was intense. You actually brought a little tear to my eye.
I forgot the ing on the end of knowing, so it was Zalk the All-Know.
The all know.
Can it be?
That's like the orcs way of saying the know-it-all. The all know. Oh, that's Zulk.
Woo!
That all know.
And so I'm going to tell you the boons that you've gained.
Boom
it up.
All right, that goes in.
However,
treasure.
We'll take a little break first.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll come back, and you will be okay. You just hit.
No, I didn't. I would just. Making
come
sure.
on. Back to yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back. And we will. Yeah, we'll get into more riddles as we get back. This is actually a really fun session. Liking it. Okay. See you in a little bit.